Hello. Hello. Good afternoon. Oh, excuse me. Hope you all had a good Easter. And we are back for some puzzles. So I think we can get right into it. So, new rule time. Mingle shape. Neighboring regions must have different shapes. But we also have polyominoes, so we can start out with a couple of these. Well, that square can't go over to the left because then they are different shapes. Or the same shape even. So, yeah, there we go. Yellow, blue, and blue. Yeah. Easy enough. Mingled and all shapes must be one of these shapes. Oh, okay, that's interesting. So, we can get our first shape in there. And then we're going to need a square on each of these sides of it. And then we can have another 3 and another 3, and then a final square. Nice and easy step. Oh yeah, I might try and sort this now. Sorry, the music is going to stop for a second. But that's because, well, the music's nice. I do like it. I have been wondering if I have a my like waiting loading stream starting music. Because it would just be a bit more variety. And they've recently introduced a chill playlist. So hang on. Excuse me. I'm actually going to swap to this just while I'm sorting this, and then we've got some actual music. That's better. So we will be playing soon. Let me. Oh, hello. Sorry, I just got a message on my stream stats, but I think it's fine. Alright. So, and then we want tell you what, let's just use this one for now. Ooh. And music down. And there we go. We're back. I'll keep the widget there for now. It shouldn't block anything down there, should it? Okay. Right. Back to solve. Oh, sorry for the delay. Okay. We've got this one that is immediately guiding us to do stuff. This one's going to have to be a square here. And then we're gonna have to like do these 1, 2 sort of alternating. Hopefully the music's appropriate volume. Let me know if I need to change it. Okay. So we can get those in straight away. In fact, that one's going to have to loop back there and make that a 3 in a row. And that's going to have to be a corner. That's a 3 in a row, but we already sort of knew that from this one up here. We've got another 3 in a row there, and then the final corner. Oh, now the rest of the area has opened up. 12 to get our first frame. So let's do this one. Ooh, hello. So this one's just straight up mingled shapes. Ooh. So we can say that all of these have to come out. Do light blues for the corners, I like that. But we're gonna have to have that. But then it can't connect because of that. These can't be. So the fact that this bottom right corner is not sectioned off means we can. No, that doesn't work. Oh. Interesting. Oh, that can all be one shape. And then that will be a 1 and that will be a 2. Yeah, there we go. That was... Oh, it is sort of symmetrical across the diagonal. Just doesn't look it. Oh no. We'll bring back rose windows. So, well, we can split them up and them up. And we do only have 2 shapes. So it's basically just, well, it's not rotationally symmetrical. So if that's the case, well, this yellow triangle on the side, there's no way that that's not going to be part of this yellow shape. And then it's just sort of a case of, well, does it split? Well, it definitely doesn't split vertically, because that would just make it symmetrical. Does it split? Well, Can it split any other way, other than horizontally and vertically? I suppose not, right? So let's fill that in. We know that has to be done. And then I think it's just going to be that? No. What am I missing? What am I missing? Every region has one of each symbol. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I just not connected it. Oh, right. The colors being too close threw me there. Right. Okay. Cool. Another Windows. Let's make that a shape. Yeah, and it's going to have to pick up blue. Can't do that anywhere else. So then this is a new shape, but it can't pick up the yellow there, so we'll have to do that. This is going to be another new shape, which I was going to say has to take this yellow triangle at the bottom, right? But it could sort of do something really silly, like that, right? Because, well, yeah, if it's that shape, like that's breaking the mingle. So that means it can't go down into there. But it does have to go across. It can't pick up a red. It can't pick up the yellow because then it will block off that blue. So it has to keep going. So it does pick up this one, I think. Which means this is a shape. But it can't be 3, so that has to do that. So it is that. This will be that. Yeah, then we've got the last one up there. Cool. I'll look around here. Any secrets to pick up straight away? Nope. Oh, this is a wonderful. Oh, I hope people got drinks and snacks as well. They wanna share their snacks. Okay. Well, my first thought is this top left corner, right? Because it can't go across, because then it connects with this polyomino and breaks the mingle. So it has to go down. And the same logic applies with this W, so we can draw that in like that. Which then means we have another W there. And these are all little separates. And that will go across there, and if we... I like that purple. It's nice. There we go. Super. Fill everything in. Right. Didn't stop on that one long enough, I think. Okay, there we go. Oh. Excuse me, I think that picked up on the mic. Gurgly. Oh, I apologize. Right, this one's a fairly simple rules, which is probably just gonna like practically fill itself in, right? Like so. What about this one? This one doesn't have it that obvious a starting point. Actually, right in the middle here. Because that can't be a little L. So then we can branch them out. Not too sure. If they go up or down though. Now, I'm thinking if it goes down. Yeah, if it goes down, you can't work with that shape anymore because you got to have a square there. There's a single. You got to have a single there, and then like that can't be either now. So it does not go down. It goes up. Is it the same logic here? Probably. Yeah. So that one's going to have to go up too. And that means we've got two singles either side there. That blue. And then we're going to have a couple of little L's. That one's going to have to go to the right to give us a spot there. This is going to have to be an L. No, this is an L. No, this will be an L. But this top one, they don't connect. So otherwise you can't fit anything around. So that will have to go around to the left. This one will go down and then to the left as well. And then that will go down to there. And then finish these off with blue. There we go. This is the wrong color. There we go. Nice. Keep going up the stairs. Another one. Difficulty. That's that. So that will have to come up like that. This will have to be a little. This will have to be a little L. Don't have to be a big L there. A little L sitting inside it. Ooh. Well, this will be a little L there. There'll be a big L up there. Then this will be a big L, and this will be a little L. And then we've got orange, little L there. Get this one hiding under the tree. Ooh, this is just a square. Interesting. So it is a 5x5, and it's got to be ones and T's, singles and T's. So like it's just going to be this. Zoop. And then if we put a border around it all, there we go. All these blue, please. There we go. That's not green enough. That's better. Whoop. Ready to mingle. Restore the mingle shape window. Achievement. 20 for the silver. Keep going. Anything around this rock? Nope. Just this one at the top. Okay. Let's start in this bottom right corner. Oh no, hang on. We've got a designated spot in the center here. Which means everything that's touching it, I'll give it green instead. We're all going to be L shapes, which then also can't touch each other. So at the top and the bottom, they are going to have to be L's. Block off those sides, which there also means we can finish them off. So now these are constrained on where they can go, like so. We've got some purple bits here, more purple bits up here. All going wrong. And that could be an L, and another purple bit, and another L, and final purple bit. Yeah. I think I'm going to have a quick nibble of an Easter egg. Give me a moment. Sorry, I just saw this secret one in the top of the window. Let's get a nice, pretty overview on stuff in my face. You'll excuse me. I apologize for the noise. That's nice. Okay. Let's try this one at top. Oh. No, we're gonna stick with it. Don't have immediate regrets just yet. Where do we start? Well, we have a couple of spots where we can put a wall in at least. Because they can't be connecting. I don't really know where to go from there, though. Well, okay. No, the ones that are closer to the corners, we have some information we can do with them. They've got to at least come out that far. Because they can't go 3 and off the grid. That doesn't make sense. But then once they've done that, they have to take the extra leap into this one. And it's the same down here. Because otherwise you cannot, you can't have a 3 and a 3 next to each other because of the mingling. So you at least have our first couple of shapes. And then there's these little bits in the corner. Because they at least need to be different. Like, so does all this. So that is quite helpful. Let's get some notes. So these two have to be different. If this one extends out, it can only do so one spot. Because it can't go into the next one. Because then you've got a 3 and a 3 pitching. Ooh, actually, I have just spotted something that might be a bit more useful. So the 4s. For all of them, I think. But we'll look at these ones in the top row first, or second top row. If this one is going to extend out to the right, it will go to here. Which now means it is butting up against another 4 here. So this one cannot go horizontally. And that is going to be true for all of these, because all of them to go horizontally, they're going to have to pick up another. But then that's only 3. And you have to go either left or right, and then you're butting up against the other shapes. So this is vertical, this is vertical. Now the same doesn't apply vertically because we have this extra spot of space up here. Which means you have this gap here. So this is a little one in the corner. We could stretch all these up like so. And now this one actually goes to the right, because it can manage to do that because of the extra space that is allowed. So let's outline all of them. We've got these 3s as well that we can outline. This one we're not sure of just yet. No, that's going to have to be a 1. Because it can't be a 3 next to the other 3. So then this is going to be a 3. Ooh. No, okay, I see it. So this one is a 4 across. Then we've got a 3 across here, and that leaves this little square here. Which I dislike that there's only like 2 colors really. So let's make these yellow. Because why not? So now we have these little bits. Because the 3s can't go up into there, so these have to be little 1s. Wait, no, I have done something wrong. Oh. But no, I think I can remedy it. Right, yes. So I just looked at this stretch, whoops, and noticed that I've got a 3 and a 3 next to each other, which wouldn't work, but I can make this little bit up here a 2 instead. And then we've got the 3 coming down. Then we have a 3 there. And this 3 has to go along as well. And we've got to try and figure out if these are vertical or horizontal, and I think they have to be horizontal because now you've got a ore trapped. So we could say that's horizontal there, so it can't tuck to the right. Actually, no, yeah, it does have to be there. And it will be the same at the bottom. We're definitely sure about that. This 4 is going to go all the way to the right, and this one will go all the way to the left. Yeah, and then that finishes it. Let me finish off the colouring because I want it to look better than it was, I guess. Cool. Let's go back down to this one. More polyominoes. Oh, okay. This feels a little brain weight. Sorry, I am just having a think about this one. Because these, it's these shapes that I kind of struggle with rotating. You know. It's like, okay, I can have it like that. If we rotated it 90 degrees clockwise, it would be 3 along. We have a little bump in the middle. And it'll go down on the right. But you could also have it mirrored, which doesn't help. But with that in mind, is there any way that these little polyominoes can link up? And I don't think there is. Because that yeah, like they'd have to be connecting. You know, the second you sort of like try and get over, you're breaking the shape too much to include the next bits. So that gives us something to work with, because we can say now that wherever we have a little corner like this, neither of the polyominoes can move up into it because it would be touched in the other. So we can place in a bunch of walls to start with, at least. And we can say the same about these bits. Then we just need to figure out how they are going to piece together. I think I'm going to look at this one on the left first, because it could easily be those top two bits, in which case it would have to go down two and across one in the middle, which is then touching this one down here, so that doesn't work. So if that's the case, we could do this and then up one, I think, and that would, like, twisting my head to try and figure this out. Yeah, that does work. I mean, I could probably just complete it like that to verify. You know, what's with all of the yellow? Only yellow allowed. Oh, I've only got yellow selected. That's why. Okay. Let's make these more appropriate colors. Right. So yes, we can fill in these spots with red. In fact, we could at least do that much. These ones as well, over on the right. Now this one here is probably doable. Following similar logic for on the left. So, no, I'm struggling to see it because it's all sorts of rotating and flipping that it could do. Well, could it go down? Yes, because then it could go up and to the right. Okay. Well, I suppose the alternative there is, can it go not down? Does it have to go down? And the answer is no. So we'll come back to this. It's got options, but at least needs to go up one. It can't do anything if we go just down. So that's something at least. So then this top one, is it going to be that? Is there any other way this could be constructed? I don't think so. We went up this way. Yeah, so this has to be that, right? Sorry, 1 second. Sorry about that. The cat has hidden a bit after the vets. She's decided to go into hiding, so my girlfriend's just on the lookout for her. I'm not trying to get her out, but you know, just trying to see if we can find her. So she was just checking on me. Right. Let's fill in these bits. They're all red. We can say this is red now. It does have to at least do that. Well, it's not going to go up because then it's the wrong shape, so it goes down. Finish that there. Oh, we can put a wall in there and call that red. Then we can look at this bit at the bottom. If this goes to the right, does this one have enough shape, base, what? Enough space. That's the word I was trying to find to finish itself. No. Can't go that way because it connects. So yeah, there's a wall there. So it makes this all red too. And then it is going to have to be like so. Yes. Let's finish all of that off, put them in red. And then we just need to squeeze this last shape in. Do the last bits of red. There we go. Ooh, what's this music? It's moody. Silent Hill 4. Woohoo. Okay. Well, again, we've got some walls we can put straight in. That one is an easy start, at least. This one has to come out here. Oh, I'm doing the wrong colours again. There we go. Purple and red. Call this purple. This one purple. Purple. Oh, right. Well, this one can't go down, so that's going to have to go up and around. This is one turn. This one now can't go down here. Put a wall in there at least. this one has to escape up there. There's no other way for that to work, right? So then this purple one can finish there. And then we've got a different colour here, yellow, sure. Walls there, which will give us another L there. That gives us most of an L there, but go up or down at the moment. So let's see where we can put the rest of these bigger L's in. So that one, this one can only fit that way. So this one has to fit in there. This one goes up there, which then finishes this purple one. And then that's the only way that can fit in. Here we go. Easy enough. Here we go. Yeah. Cool. Ooh. Do the one behind the windmill. Okay. So these need to be different regions in all of these. But then they're all going to have to be wildly different shapes, right? I feel like this one's just going to be a square. We can get to that later. So multiple ways this would sort of go. It could be... Okay, no, yes. Exactly, of course. I'm dumb. I was going to say they could come out as two twos, but no, that's two twos next to each other. That doesn't work. So there is going to be like a opposite X's. So I suppose maybe this would be better to do this kind of coloring. So we can say that these are going to be little L's one way or the other. And this one will have to be the same here. But then that is now our disambiguator, because neither of them can go up to touch together. So that gives you them. That gives that. These are singles, and then that is a square. Which one? Which one next? This one. Go with that one first. And this will be a 1 as well. Easy enough. This is going to have to go up. This could go right or down, but it's not going to go up or left, so there's that. There's now a 1. This is going to have to be something that gets out upwards. But we'll then have to do something more. You just don't know what yet. It could be an L, but it could also be like a... Oh, I missed that one. Shape bank. Okay. So, yes, it has to be an L. So, okay. We have these we can do as L's. They could be the same region. No reason that they can't be. but there's no reason they have to be either. Well, actually, there is a reason they can't be the same region, because this one has to get down into here, otherwise it's one next to another one. So that does give us that shape straight off the bat there, and that one there. We can then do that one down, have a little single one there. This one will have to go up. And we're going to have a single there with a 2 across there and a 2 across there, which then gives us a purple in the corner. Very good. Next, for difficulty. But we can at least do the ones again. Let's ring them off. Bottom right, the 2s, they are going to have to be separate shapes. Make sure, yeah, we are. Look. Working on our shape banks again. This one is going to have to sneak up into the top there. This will have to come down, and then we don't know what. But that does mean this one is a 2. We can do that. We know the L can't go to the left there. This is going to have to be a 2. Wait. Oh, no. Okay. I've done something wrong there. You said this has to go down. It doesn't have to go down. It just can't go up or left. It could still go right. So that one is my bad. I only saw that because of this bottom corner, which also has to be a little L, because it can't be a 2. Because otherwise you have to fill in this spot with an L, which then gives you either 2 1s, which doesn't work, or a 2, which doesn't work. And it can be a 1 down here, so that is an L, which gives us an L finished there. This is a 2 now. This is going to have to be... Ooh. I was going to say it has to be a 2, but it doesn't. This one at the top does, though. And then that will give us a little L there, 3. This one has to be a 2 because nothing else will fit because of either side. This 2 can only go up. The only way is up for this 2. I'm sorry, that was terrible. Well, this is going to have to be a 1 because it can't be a 3. Won't be able to get out. Then we have to have a 2 and a 1. Like so. This top right is going to have to be a 3, which Then gives us a final 3 there, and yeah, a final 1. Good. Put these 2 by the window. Okay. Not too sure how to start with this. Actually, I think I do this bit and this bit, and I suppose this bit as well. They probably all ones, because none of these polyominoes can dip into this area without causing them to touch another area. So you can do that. You can also do that. That could come out. We don't quite know. Same with this one. And that does give us, well, actually, tells us immediately that that one's closed. Yeah, we've got these regions. This is going to have to connect up with one of these. This one can't go up or left. So, in fact, this has to go down and right, which means this goes right and up. Now this one goes up and right. Yeah, we can fill that in yellow. We've got these ones that I'll do green because that was the last color that it gave me. Purple there. Purple is going to have to connect with that. No, not like that. That's green. This is green. This is green. This is yellow. Done. That's our silver window. 31 for gold. Let's keep going. Oh, got sparkles from the window coming in. That's actually slightly distracting. Does it settle? It is settling. Cool, good. I was worried. This is our first thing to look at. Because these two cannot touch. The dark blue one that can't go up, because then you're left with another 2 there, so that goes to the right. And then this is going to have to be a little L shape. Might help me a little bit. So this little bit in the bottom left, it sort of has a bit of a... Oh no, it doesn't actually, never mind. I was going to say it sort of has a bit of a windmill pattern. But it's only really dependent on this top bit. So if that goes right, that has to go down. But then this could go either up or left. No, that's right. Up or right. Whereas if this goes down, this can only go right. But then this one can go up or down. But I think, actually, that's maybe a bit useful. Because both of these could go and start encroaching on this one. But if they did the opposite and gave it plenty of space, and this one can no longer extend, so this one has to go. No, either right or up. One of these two. But that does put pressure on this next one here. Goes to the right, this one can't go to the left or down, but the left is more important here because this one goes up, that still can't go to the left. So we've got a little wall there. I have a bit that's staring me right in the face here. There's a wall there. There's also a wall there because it cannot go to the left without leaving a spot that breaks rules, which now means there's pressure on this square because this will always be touching that, which means we now have a couple more things set. This one has to go up, means that goes right. This is now a level 3, like so. I don't know if that's going to be 3 like that. It could be 3 like that. But I suppose either way it has to be those two that are part of the 3. Or it could just be a really big shape somehow. But I suppose that potentially comes down to a uniqueness issue, which we will not investigate. Because uniqueness is bad solving. But yeah, we can at least say these two are part of the same shape. So that helps with... I don't know. Which one do we look at next? This does go up. Then, I mean, it still gives credence for this being a silly shape. You just go out to the side. But if it went to the right, is there any reason it can't go out to the right here? Go for a single. And then, well, yeah, again, this shape can just do silly stuff. Where is the pressure? Wait, what is this song called? Infinite Starship Sausage Journey. Alright. It's a name. Anyway. Can we have this? We can, right? Like, that's not illegal. Like, that looks right though as well, which I dislike. Maybe it is something about how these go. So if that goes to the right, goes up, it has to go to the right, it has to go down, which then leaves you with a 2 here. So that gives us that at least. Which then means this can't go down because then you're left with a 2, so that has to go to the right. Here we go. I've grabbed it. This has to go down now because it can't go up. This is a single. That has to go to the right now as well. It's a single. This is going to be... Well, okay, yeah, this can't go to the left because then it leaves a 2 there. So that gives us... Yeah. That must be this. There we go. Appropriately coloured. There's some more. Let's do these. No, not that one. That one's a dark colour. Pac-Man! You had me at yellow. Well, this probably is our starting point. So everything is a 2 or a 3. If this, yeah, this is our starting point. And now we need to have 2 there, so this is a 3. Which now gives us a 3 here. That'll be a 2. This is probably all going to quite easily write in. It's going to have to be a 3. You know, that's a 3 and that's a 3, so neither of them go to the middle, they both go up. And gives us these 2s here. That's going to be a 2 on the left, that's going to be a 2 there. Gives us a 3 here, a 2 here, 3 along the top, 2 and 3 to finish off with the right colour. Excuse me, having a sip of coffee. So we've got these 2 bits. Oh, the shape bank, that's interesting. Well, we can start at the bottom here. That's going to have to be 3 along. Which now means this is going to have to be a single. And then that gives us, well, this has to be the 3x3 big square. That will fill out that area. We could have a yellow on the bottom, and in fact, I think we need to have the yellow on the bottom, single. Because if it was a 3, what do you put in that top bit? So, yellow on the bottom, green up to the top, and that can be another yellow there. And then it's probably going to be another 3x3 like that, but I'm not entirely sure yet. This bit here has to be a 3 going up. This bit is going to be a yellow and then a green. Whoop. That green will extend upwards. Got a yellow here. And then, yeah, it's going to be like... Well, I mean, we can say this is orange now because we've got a green and a yellow there. So that does finish that off. We can say the same here, so that finishes that off. And then we have a yellow here. That will have to be green along the top. No. Yellow in there, then green along the top. And then this last one yellow. Ooh, okay. Again, we can work this bit, which will have to be a 2 long. This is going to be a 2x2, right? Because it can't be a 1x2 in any orientation that works. And then that makes this the last 2x3. But we don't know which way, but we do know it goes at least one in each direction, so it has to be that. And it can't bend back on itself, so we can put walls in there. This is now going to have to be a 2x2 here. And then we'll have to have a 2x1. This will have to be a 2x1, but we don't know which direction. Well, hang on. No. So if this is a 2x1, if it went to the left, then you'd have to have a 2x1 here, which it breaks. So that goes up as a 2x1. This is now a 3x2, which goes all the way up. Give me that dark blue, don't you? And this will be a 2x1. And then we're going to have a 2x2. And then that tells us where this 2x3 goes. This now has to be a 2x1, which comes to the right. This has to be a 2x2. You know, where it goes like that. This will be a 2x1. This will be a 2x3, which can only fit in one way. This has to be a 2x1. And then we'll have this one be a 2x1 as well. Put a 2x2 there. And then a 2x1. 2x3. 3x2. Finish off. 2 left, I think. Get that 1 in. 1, 2s, and 3s. That needs to be at least a 2. And in fact, it can only be a 2, because if it goes one more, it touches a 3. That's a 2. This one has to be a 3, which means it will have to be this 3. Which means that 3 will go across there. Now this 3 can't go up. Where's that pale yellow? There we go. This is red. This is going to have to be a single first, and then it'll be a 2. This one could be either, but this one has to be a single. So, this could be a single, and then, no, it can't be a single, because then it would have to be a 3 coming out, and either connecting, well, it would either be a 2 coming out, and butting up against another 2, or it would be a 3 taking up a 2 polygon. So, this is a 3 coming out, like so. That gives us a 2 here, actually, now, which can't go down because of this one. So that gives us that and that. This 3 has to go at least 1 along. And it could either go 1 more to the left or right. Oh, yet. This has to be a 1. This will have to be a 2, because if it's a 3, it will go down clash. So that's a 2, but we don't know if it goes down or to the left. It could go down and then you'd have 3 along the left, all the way down the side. What about this one? This would have to be either a 1 or the 3. If it's a 1... Okay, yes, if it's a 1, then this has to be a 2 or a 3, which will break. So that's not a 1. That is part of the 3 to go to the right. Then gives us a 1 here actually first. And this will be a 2. And now we've got to have the 2 going down, the 3 going down there, and the 1 there. Oh, we've got a 6 difficulty here. Do we want to try that one? See if there are any other white pedestal ones first. I don't think there are. We've got the area end in the next section as well, so how about we see what this is like? Immediately regret looking at it and go back. How about that? How bad does this look? I think I am a little too tired to be looking at this one right now, so that is one to come back to later. We're not going to gild this frame anyway with that one. It's not like we're 1 away. So let's do the region, and oh my goodness. I thought this was meant to be easier. It's only a 5. I mean, it's a 5 compared to a 6. Well, we've got our next area up here, right? So we could potentially leave it there and see what the next region is all about next time. Okay, let's give it a little quick tackle, because we've got some things like there's a lot of information in this grid to work with. So we can immediately say we've got all of these little regions here, which we'll call them all cyan. Yeah. And we can outline them all. We then have a lot of these little elves, which I feel are all going to have to be like different regions. Because they sort of get broken. So you can say that there's not a connection between here, because that would be a very, very wrong shape. This one could connect through like that, and I feel like it might have to be. Is this one in the bottom right that I'm really unsure of? Actually, I might have just got it. I think the only way it can go is like that. Because it can't go the other way, because then it butts up against the other shape. Can't go up one, otherwise you have a very incorrect shape. So it is only that it can do. We'll give it that. Which then gives this one a bit more stiffness, limited, something. And I think this one is also now limited to that shape. We've got this one that we need to figure out. It could do that. It could do that. So this one actually has options still. These are all different shapes. Let's choose yellow for the twos. We can fill in these as well in that case. That's a 2, that's a 2, that's a 2. But this 2 can't go up, because then we're left with a 1. Goes right or left. He's all red. Let's do the 3's oranges. This one, and I suppose the one next to it, this one, they have a limit on how far up they can go. So, like, they could both go up 1 at least, which means this needs to come down at least 1, and this one needs to come down at least 2. Also just noticed I have these 2 yellows on a diagonal, so they cannot go anywhere other than like that. This yellow can't come down, then we're stuck with a 1, so that yellow has to go up. Now it gives us a 3 long up at the top, going horizontally. This 3 also now can't come up, so that goes down. This now has to come out at least 3, like so. But it can't be 3. It's got to be at least 4. Can't go up because otherwise it's the wrong shape. There's no way for us to correctly form this. It goes along 4 and maybe goes up or down into one of these, or potentially keeps going, but it's unlikely. Actually, ooh, that might be it. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But this can't go there, otherwise it's bumping up against another 5. So this does turn into one of these. Hang on. No. No, I think that's wrong. Because if it does turn into one of them, then this one is then the same shape, which just doesn't work for the mingle. So what have I done wrong? What is wrong? 2, can't be a 3, can't be a 1. I'm sure it can't do that. Pretty sure. Definitely can't go 6. This has me a bit stumped. Well, I'm gonna look at this for a second. How did this go? That would have to be like that, right? Puts pressure on this, which can't go over one more because then there's like 1s and 2s that doesn't work, so it would be that, which leaves you with a 3. Like, this is all working so far. It's just this purple section that isn't. Oh, yes. No, it does work because I am just dumb. So, yeah, I was thinking that, like, it has to turn into one of these because it can't go up there because then it butts up against that, but it can actually turn again at this bit, which is what it does, because then this one could escape this way. Okay, there we go. We have a bit of progress. Also gives us this shape, which is not entirely. It's got to be 4, and then it either goes up or down. Let's give. So this one. Let's give it a better color. Let's call it yellow as well. This one can't be 2 and then 4 because it would have to hit there. So it is 4 and then 2. It can't go to the right because that blocks that off, so it goes to the left. So that's that shape completed. That also finishes this 4 along. This SZ shape, whatever, is also finished like so. This orange has to come up at least 1. It can't go to the right because then there's a 2, so it goes to the left. This is now a 3. I have a bunch of 2s in the bottom right. We have this one, which is 5 long, which can't go to the left, so it has to go down. That's 4, that's 5. And then this has to fill in that shape to not leave a 1. this L can either still go either way. We've got a 4 down here, which can't go over to the right. It can only go up 2, so it has to come down at least 1. There's a little 2 in here. The bottom left, this little L can't go down. Can it go right? It could go right if it goes up. No. No, that's not true. Because then this is forced to be a T, which then forces a T to be next to it. So it can't go right. It has to go up? No. Yes, no it does. It goes up and then to the left to tuck in there. Then we can fill in some of this stuff. So they can't be 1, so they all have to connect up. Can't be a little L, so it has to keep going. It can't be a T, so it has to keep going. We can then start making this a T, which... could be multiple ways, really. It can't go to the right like that, though. That blocks this off. Can it go to the right 1? Do it like that. Yes. Could it do that? Maybe? And then this one would be an L, and then you'd have a 2 there. So that does work. So this one is a bit ambiguous, but we can say it takes this piece, this tile. Because it is either that or that. I don't think there's another way it can be made. This L now also can't go down. Which means the little bit between them here is sort of limited because it has to come out. It's not going to be part of the 2 and it's not going to stay a 2. So it could come down and make all of this one whole shape. We have a bit more pressure on this 4 as well, actually, because of this T. It's either there, in which case it can go up 1 more, or it's there, in which case it fills up the whole thing. But either way, we get 1 more tile out there. Was that? I don't know. We'll come back to that. Can I start looking at this W? Maybe? Because it could go there. Could also, like, do that. Or it could even do the Inverse. That way. Or that way. No, this has too many options. And none of them give us a guaranteed sort of piece. Maybe this small L we can look at. Can't go to the left. Oops. Which then means we have like a weird shape branching out here, which can't be 3 because it butts up against another 3. It can't be 4 because it butts up against another 4 like that. It can't be the 5 there because that butts up against the same shape there, so it comes down again, which again it can't do because this shape is the same, so it has to keep going again. So that actually gives us quite a bit to work with. So we can finish this yellow off. We can extend that green a bit. We can extend this red to be that, this orange to be that. We have 2 singles here, which gives us a yellow there. This purple is going to extend all the way down to this, because that can't be a single, can't be a double, and it can't be part of this shape. So that is that final little wiggle. What's next? This has to come down, yeah, which gives us that 2, which now means this 2 has to come down as well, which now means this T has its shape finalized, which means this is finalized. We have to fit this a little less there, then this one has to fit in like so. Yeah, which then also gives us that. Now we're just sort of finishing off, polishing off. So that all connects up like that. We have this blue has to go up, and then we've got 2 little singles to finish off, like so. Oof. Got there. Sorry, Karen, I was a little bit too focused with that one. Yeah, all of the colors. I was using everything to try and solve that one. But we got there. We did it. And that took a while. So that's the end of the region. I guess you could call it a region. So we're on to the next. But we will be leaving it there. We'll take a quick preview to see what the rules are going to be. Oh, nothing new. More mingling. But mingling and precision. Is it really just going to be... I suppose it could be like a... everything's coming back into, because you've got all of these different routes up, so maybe this area is all sort of trials. You know, let's jump into another random one. Yeah, precision and poly. So there's no new rules for this area by the looks of it, but it's testing all of our knowledge so far. So I guess we can take a look at that next time. Because I'm rather tired now. I've had a busy day. It's been good. Watch out as well. Probably shouldn't, but shh. Don't tell anyone. Right. Thank you all for joining. I've not decided if I'm doing a Friday stream. I'll have to have another think about that, but yeah, not sure. We'll see. At the very least, I will do next Tuesday, do more of this. But until then, see you around, maybe? So, yeah, take care. See you next time. Bye-bye.